Well, Jeremy Peña does his best José Altuve impression with a leadoff home run. It wasn't enough, although AJ Blubaugh had some really good things he did today, despite taking the loss. We'll talk about this on this edition of Locked On Astros.
Yainel Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we update you. Join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You find me on X at Eric Talkstros. Find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Brett, where can you find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on X, Instagram, and TikTok, at Stros411 on X and on Facebook, and at Back to the Bullpen on X, on Instagram, on iHeartRadio, and YouTube, where I'm always positive, always Stros.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead, subscribe to us, make us first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, go ahead and check us out. This episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB for monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. Brett, you can't win them all. And unfortunately, this was a good team. And the Tigers, they had the eye of tiger today. They weren't going to go down without a fight. And unfortunately, the Astros had a rookie pitcher going out to make his major league debut, and an error by Jeremy Peña kind of led to the downfall of AJ Blubaugh. But there's some, like you said in the intro, there's some good positives that we're going to talk about right now. But this is a guy that the Astros initially passed on because he didn't have an agent, and they're afraid about, well, maybe if we draft him, he may not sign because he doesn't have an agent. So there's a whole bunch of questions, but this is a player that the Astros, not just the front office, but the scouts, everybody was excited to see him make his debut.
Yeah, I actually posted on social media today two different pictures I found of AJ Blubaugh on our basically photo bank that we grab all our show photos from. And there was one from him playing high school basketball and one from him playing high school football. He was a 3-sport athlete in high school, and he was actually quite the athlete. And from what I understand, the towns around there in Ohio where he grew up all knew his name. He was a stud athlete. And, he comes out today, his major league debut, and he induces 16 swings and misses today. 16 swings and misses. That's a phenomenal clip for a major league outing. I didn't think he looked terrible. He did give up the grand slam, but did you hear how much of a hit probability that pitch was that he threw? It was a 9% hit probability. And of all people on the Tigers roster, Javy Báez took it out for a home run.
Well, he's a bad ball hitter. He's kind of like Vladimir Guerrero Sr., the guy that can hit the ball anywhere.
But Javy Báez has not been great, in recent memory. But to take a ball the way he did with a 9% hitability rate was just like, I was like, oh my gosh, when I heard that, it goes back to that home run. And I hate to bring this up, but Will Harris says he would throw that ball every time to Howie Kendrick, every time, because he just put good wood on the ball. And sometimes that happens. But I didn't think he looked terrible. Joe Espada, even afterwards, said that he liked his composure. He basically said he fits the bill. He acts like he's supposed to be here, and that's encouraging going forward.
Yeah, he did give up 7 runs. 2 of them were earned. He struck out 6, 4 innings. He got up to 97.1 mile per hour on his fastball. So Báez hit the slider, like you said. Then he also gave up a home run to I forgot who the other person he gave up home run was, but overall, it wasn't a bad first taste of Major League Baseball. This is a guy that the Astros maybe down the road will have to call back up. You may, especially in the stretch of 17 straight games or another stretch down the road, you might need another spot starter. But after the game, he was optioned down to AAA. For those of y'all wondering, well, how did Blubaugh get on the roster in the first place? Well, he was added to the 40-man roster, but Brian Abreu was placed on a paternity leave for a couple of days just to so he's probably going to be off. The Astros will probably call up some maybe reliever for the weekend series against the White Sox, or maybe just wait until Abreu comes back. But now I think that what he did was he shown some good signs. He showed some bad sides. That the flip that Jeremy Peña did that went awry, that led to all the other extra runs, that you can't blame that really on the pitcher. And you would hope that maybe he would have got out of the inning, but I think that's going to come with experience and time.
And that's baseball. I mean, baseball is going to happen. You sometimes have to be perfect, and you're rarely perfect. And the throw and the idea, it was the right idea. It just was done too quickly. Brendan Rodgers, there's no way. I mean, he would have had to been 6'10", 6'11" to grab that ball, because as he's going to the base to the right, the ball's crossing his left side, and there was just no way. But hey, you still managed to get 4 runs on 9 hits. And we'll talk a little bit about Jeremy Peña in the offense here in a second, but there's one person today in particular that we'll talk about in the second segment that I just think had a really bad game, and this person needs to really turn things around on a more consistent basis. He's been better as of late, but today's game was really, really bad for him.
Getting back to Blubaugh, the home run he gave up, the other guy was Colt Keith.
Yeah,
this is a guy that had 0 home runs before the at bat, and so fortunately, it wasn't overall a bad start, but just the error. And then you also couple that with Gusto start, where he only pitched 4 1/3 innings. Then that puts a lot of wear and tear on the bullpen. But the bullpen came in, they got the job done. 5 innings, shutout baseball. Van Wy gave up 4 hits in 2 innings. Then King gave up 2 hits, but overall, no runs. The bullpen has the 3rd best ERA in baseball.
Yeah.
So the bullpen is getting it done. Starting pitching, for the most part, is getting it done. You have a couple of guys getting some hiccups, bad starts here or there, but overall, the Astros pitching is not the issue. It's the hit or miss offense that if you have a game like this where a pitcher gives up a lot of runs, it's hard to play catch up. You can't play catch up. Like, you've seen the Astros come from behind a lot of times, and you can't continue to do that where the offense doesn't score early. And we talked about this in yesterday's show. Well, why can't they score more consistently early in the game? So, Brett, we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit more about Jeremy Peña. Is he fitting in pretty well in the leadoff spot? And what did he do for the first time in his career? We'll talk about that next on the Locked On Astros podcast.
Hey, everybody, I want to talk to you all about Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K. Why? Because it is a phenomenal product, and you can turn your Fire TV into an Xbox. You probably didn't know it was also an Xbox, and there's no console required. So just grab your paired controller, subscribe, or sign into Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with EA Play included, and you're ready to go. Dive into hundreds of premium titles, including EA Sports College Football 25 and Call of Duty, as easily as you stream your favorite shows. Now, what if you could jump into your favorite Xbox titles without needing your console? Why would you not grab this Fire TV Stick 4K? I'm telling you, it is a blessing in disguise. It looks so small, it looks so inconspicuous, but it does so many things. And if you've ever find yourself flipping between apps and trying to find a place in order to get that show, well, Fire Stick TV has everything there for you, and it's in 4K from Netflix to YouTube and beyond. how do you currently stream your content? Well, it's smoother here and it's faster. So I'm telling you, head to Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On to get started. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription and compatible controller is required. Available on select devices, including Fire TV Stick 4K second gen, Fire TV Stick 4K Max first and second, and Fire TV Cube third gen. Go get it today.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to us. Make us first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Go and check us out. So I know Brett is super excited about the Rockets. I haven't had a chance. I've been doing final exams and presentations, but I hear the Rockets are doing pretty good out there. And so hopefully they're able to extend the series a little bit and take it back to San Francisco to maybe get another win and extend the series even more. But I know what the Astros have been struggling with is runners in scoring position. Yeah. And if you look at this game, it's a situation of Javy Báez. He was one of the 4 times that the Tigers came up with runners in scoring position. He's the only one that got a hit with runners scoring position. So it's not like the Tigers went out there and got a lot of hits today. They got 7 hits overall. I guess they had 11 hits overall, but
11 hits overall. Yeah.
Yeah. But it wasn't a lot with runners in scoring position. So they got 1 hit, but the Astros, they were 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position. This is something that they continue to struggle with. It's like they get a lot of hits in this game, only 9. I mean, I say only 9, but they tried to make a comeback. They got 2 runs late, or I guess 3 runs late. They had that leadoff home run by Jeremy Peña. We'll talk about that in a second. But by that point, it was too much. I know they had a tying runner at the plate at one point. But Jeremy Peña, since the move to the leadoff spot, he's become a different player. Today, 3 for 5, 2 runs. He had that home run. He did have a strikeout, but his batting average is 282. OPS is creeping up to 791. Do you think that the Astros are going to stick with him leading off long term, or do you think Altuve is going to get over the extra 30 seconds or whatever it takes to get from left field to the dugout?
Well, I mean, why not? It's working. It's worked in the 3-game series. Altuve had 2 walks today. He doesn't normally walk. He's either swinging out of his shoes, hitting a leadoff home run, which Jeremy Peña did today for the first time. He's never had a leadoff home run before, but he was 3 for 5. It seems to be working. You know, you would like to see that 3-hole with Paredes and with Yordan Alvarez being out, him produce a little bit more than he did today. But really, the Achilles heel for the Astros today was Christian Walker, 0 for 5, 2 strikeouts. And those men in front of him were getting on base. Peña, Altuve, Paredes were getting on base. He came to the plate 3 times with 2 runners on base, and he failed to produce a single run. So that is a huge problem. Jeremy Peña is in the leadoff because he can run, because he can hit, because he is a leader. José Altuve has volunteered his spot to Jeremy Peña. Jeremy Peña has taken it very seriously. Once this offense hits a consistent wave of success, you're going to see them really break out and score a lot of runs. But they can't have Peña going 3 for 5 with the solo shot and then one guy leaving 6 runners on base in 3 straight at bats and expect that they're going to get wins when, I mean, today, honestly, they should have won this game. They could have easily put up 4 more runs. They could have won 8-7, but that's why you play the game. And nobody told the Tigers that they were supposed to lose this game because the Astros had so many guys on base. So I think they stick with it. I mean, why not? I mean, you've already had 26 different lineups going into today. So just keep some of these guys where they are.
So ironically, batting 8th, that's where Jeremy Peña has had the most success with a 320 batting average, 874 OPS in his career. He has 5 home runs, 19 RBIs. Granted, it's a small sample size, but it's 147 at bats. But I'm sure that was probably his first season when he had all the success as a rookie. So as he's moved up, he's kind of around 268, 7th, 263, 6th, 259, batting 5th. Now batting 4th, he's batted 221 with a 566 OPS. So he does have 3 home runs, small sample size, only 140 at bats, but maybe batting 4th is not where he should be. But he's primarily batted 2nd. So 455 plate appearances. The second highest was 6, but batting 2nd, he's batted 273 with the 774 OPS with 19 home runs and 50 RBIs. But ironically, leading off or batting first, he has, it's small sample size, 100 plate appearances, but he has a 200 batting average, 603 OPS with 2 home runs and 10 RBIs. So things can change. And I really applaud what José Espada is doing. He's realized that the offense is not clicking. He's realizing that things need to, sometimes you got to, as teachers, you got to get out of the comfort zone a little bit. You got to do something a little bit different. You got to get out of the, just do something different. And that's what they're doing here. They're just saying, okay, I know that José Altuve has been your leadoff guy forever, but what happens if we go ahead and move him to bat second? Like you said, he had 2 walks today. Does this make José Altuve a little bit more patient? I doubt it, but maybe knowing the role, maybe this makes him be a little bit more patient.
So Jeremy Peña was 2 for 4, 1 for 3, and 3 for 5. So in his 13 at bats, or I'm sorry, in his 12 at bats, he was, what is it? Wow. He was 10 for 12 in his plate appearances and leading off. And you ask me, does he need to stay in the leadoff spot? 100% absolutely he does.
Okay. All right. Until it's broken. And that's what Joe Espada is really good at doing, is making adjustments on the fly. And so if all of a sudden he starts struggling, you can't have a leadoff hitter continuing to strike out or something like that. But I think that what he's doing is what they need. And so I'm trying to find out I know you just read it, but here it is. So this is not including today's game. So he's batting 417 with a 1083 OPS this year. Granted, this was not including today's game. So that's only gone up a little bit after today's game. So yeah, he's had a lot of success. Small sample size. You're talking about in all his career bat. Like I'm doing stats and doing all this stuff. It's like very small sample size.
Okay, it's a small sample size, but it's what you're doing for me now. Right. It's not what you did for me in the past. Mm-hmm. It's what you're doing for me now. So
I'm not saying change it. I'm just giving you all the warning. Yeah.
No, so, I mean, warning about
I like
what?
It. With the speed, I like the combination of Pena and Altuve. I think you're wasting Pena down in the lineup. He's got that speed. He's got that ability to get the home runs and get the extra base hits. So I think that Joe Espada is doing the right thing here. And he also did the right thing by sitting the big fella. Yordan Alvarez, he needed a day off. And so you have the off day tomorrow. So this is day to not just give him a 24-hour rest period, but now he has 48 hours to kind of get off his legs, just kind of think about things. And maybe with that on his mind, he can go ahead and turn things around. But don't forget that he is still leading the Astros with RBIs. So next, Brett, somebody's going to make – I know that Blubaugh made his debut with the Astros this year, but we're about to have another current Astro make his 2025 debut with the Astros. So we'll talk about that next. I think you're muted or something. Your mic's not working. Hey guys, have you ever checked your bank account and wonder where did all my money go between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment? It's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO. It's giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just about a budgeting app, it's a complete financial command center. Just think about it as everything you need right in one app. So you can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So you can stop just managing your money and just start building wealth. It's all in one convenience. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch Money to check your finances, track your spending, and even plan long-term goals. It's easy collaboration. Managing money with your partner is smoother than ever. You can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, and stay on the same page. So take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off of your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off of your first year. No. All right. So I'm not sure what's going on with Brett right now, but hopefully he's able to fix his audio. But guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. So go ahead and subscribe to us. Go ahead and make his first listen. Go ahead and check out Locked On Fantasy Baseball. Go ahead and check on Locked On. Are you back?
I'm back.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
All right. So go and check out. The Locked On Astros postcast as well. So, Brett, let's go and talk about Lance McCullers. This is a guy that he was supposed to be the ace of the future for the Houston Astros, but he struggled with staying healthy. He struggled with a lot of things, but you could see somebody like this just saying, you know what, I'm done. I have this coffee shop I've opened. I'm going to go ahead and just retire. But no, he didn't. He just went ahead and said, you know what, I want to go ahead and continue and play the sport I love. And so after all the stuff that he dealt with for the past few years, it's been announced that after he didn't experience any soreness or anything from his bullpen yesterday, he's going to make his first start in 2025 on Sunday. How excited are you about this?
How excited am I about this? I'm just glad that he's out there on the mound and we're not having to pay him $18.5 million to not be out there. And he even said in the dugout that he feels like it's kind of like a major league debut because it's been so long. And that 2022 World Series, I'll forever have that in my mind. Game 6 was with my son. And so, although I wasn't at the game in Philadelphia when he last pitched and he got absolutely shelled, but that was his last taste of game action. And this is a long time. And you've got to give it to him. He's the bury me in the H guy. He's the H-Town. I mean, this guy has embodied and just taken on what it means to be a professional athlete in the city. So super excited because he has been waiting for this day for a long time. We saw the excitement from him and his family when he first touched the mound in spring training. Now this is like finishing up the process. And I believe that you're going to see him get between 14 and 16 starts this year. I don't know if he'll get more than that. As far as how much success he'll have, I don't know if it'll be marginal or if it'll be great, but whatever he does on the mound, if it can be anything positive, then I think that's a good thing for the Astros. And then what do? You think you stick with the 6-man rotation, give Lance those rest days. Hopefully we're here to see a much different Lance. He's not going to be the same Lance he was, but maybe he's smarter and wiser.
All right. So Alec asked about, we'll get back to Lance McCullers in a second, but he said, did Blubaugh get sent down after the game today? Yes, he got sent down. Then he follows up, will what was the point of bringing him up? Well, the point was Wisniewski needed a break. He had too much going on in his last start. His velocity was down a little bit. This is a guy that's going from the bullpen role to a starter's role. And so you're going to have to maybe skip a start every once in a while. Yeah. And so what they did was they brought Blubaugh up. They knew that Abreu was likely going to go on the paternity list. So this is a perfect opportunity to have a spot start. And that way you can put Wisniewski. He's not going to pitch this weekend. This weekend it's going to be Farmer Valdez, Hunter Brown, and Lance McCullers. And doesn't that sound like a playoff rotation? Hopefully. But then Wisniewski's going to pitch sometime next week. But what this does is there was a point. This is to give him time to not throw out his arm. This is like he's making that adjustment. And like we've talked about with we haven't talked to him, but we've heard Lance McCullers mention that a bullpen role is a hard role, but going from a bullpen to a starter, that's a hard transition because you're used to throwing 1 inning, maybe 2 innings every 1 to 2 days. And then now you have to throw 6 innings, throw close to 100 pitches every 5 days. And so this is a situation where you have a guy that's making an adjustment. He may need some time. That's why the Astros are definitely going to go to 6-man rotation, especially starting May 9th when they're going to 17 straight games. So I think this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, definitely it does. And it extends that. It extends the rotation. You're still waiting on someone like Arrighetti to come back. Although in a playoff series, I think I would want Arrighetti going third. But I get what you're saying about the playoff rotation because Lance McCullers Jr. did.
Just the name, I guess, is just
I understand.
Thinking as a longtime Astros fan, just thinking about what
I completely get. No, I understood where you were going with that. I agree with you. And, that's the place you hope that Lance is when it comes time for the Astros to decide who's going to be in their rotation. Now, I don't know that he garners a spot early on, but right now we've got to look at what we're doing here. He's going to face the Chicago White Sox, not a very good team. They are shopping some of their, I guess, bigger name players. I wouldn't say better players because Luis Robert is having another terrible year at the plate. But this is a series where you can roll Lance out there and Lance can get a victory, get some confidence up, and then go from there. And if he's saying for him it feels like a major league debut, he's probably going to have some jitters. And that means he's human. And that means that in spite of all his experience, this is still a game. But I was happy to hear him talk to the media today. He just seems very upbeat. And, on top of that, you had, again, AJ have his major league debut. And another thing that happened, I don't know if you saw this, it was Phil Garner's birthday today. We've interviewed Phil Garner on the show, old Scrap Iron. He has come out of some a major battle with cancer. He threw the first pitch, and they basically had every living Astros legend in the building, from Art Howe to Roger Clemens. It was
Brandon Backey, Chris Sampson. Yeah.
It was, everybody. I was like, hold on, where's my guy J.R. Tolles from Crosby? I didn't see him in there, but everybody was there. And I thought that was neat that they honored Scrap Iron like that. So a really neat meeting at the ball field and up there in the press box, so on and so forth. So that was a cool thing for the Astros to do for Phil Garner.
I know Willard's always said, well, the Astros need to trade for Luis Robert Jr. Well, he's hitting 172 with a 604 OPS.
Oh, he's up to 172 now. I thought he's hitting 156 last time I looked, but good job, Luis.
Yeah. So he's got 4 home runs this year, though, with 9 RBIs, with 12 stolen bases.
He's tied with all the leaders for the Astros. Hey, he would fit right in. He's hitting sub 200 and he's got 4 home runs.
12 stolen bases, that's pretty cool, though. And a lot of people will say, well, the value's down. I don't think the value would be down. I think he's only 27 years old. I think that I just don't know if the Astros have.
I think it's the contract and the money attached to him and the lack of production. I think that's kind of a double whammy. But hey, Louis, You saw this. The Padres released Yuli Gurriel. Is it time? Does Yuli hang up his cleats?
I think he's actually going to retire this time. That's what the word on the street is.
That's what I've
think
heard.
that he's going to retire. So, I mean, I don't have any sources or anything, but I wouldn't mind him picking on somewhere. But I don't think he's coming here. The Astros have Christian Walker. The Astros have some other options. They have the Zenzo that could play first base.
Yeah, we do not need need another aging.
I'm just trying to avoid people coming in. Let's bring him back to Houston. He's not coming back.
Well, that's no. We're not bringing him. We're not bringing Maldi. We're not bringing these guys back. The Astros will be fine. They're going to Chicago. I anticipate they win another series.
All right, guys, that's all we got for this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast. Tomorrow we'll come back and talk about the White Sox series in a little bit more depth. But my name is Eric Huysman. He is Brett Chancey. We are the Locked On Astros podcast, and we will see you tomorrow. And go Astros.
Stole my thunder. Thanks.
Now let's go watch Rockets.
I am. There's only